So we're going to look at the poem Old Ironsides by Oliver Wendell Holmes Sr. So let's just get into a little bit of a background about him. He was born in 1809, between 1894, which at that time I would consider that a pretty long life. But it makes sense. He was a medical doctor who invented the term anesthesia. Um, and then he composed the Old Ironsides, which actually saved the U.S. Constitution from the scrapyard. So the USS Constitution was a warship at that time, a very powerful warship that survived a lot of strife that comes with the actual act of war. And it was nicknamed Old Ironsides. It was nicknamed that because there was a soldier who saw that cannonballs would kind of bounce off the side of the ship, and the ship was still able to keep going, to keep standing. So he figured the sides had to be made of iron somehow. So he was the father of a Supreme Court Justice, Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr., which to me is kind of interesting that this poem follows a topic matter of politics or military, and that his son went on to be a political person. So kind of that strong alliance with the subject matter that the poem is about. He also wrote The Autocrat of the Breakfast Table, which in my little research, I figured out that that was what he seemed to be most famous for. So let's get into the actual poem. So as we go through the poem, pay attention to the language that the author is using, pay attention to the punctuation that reflect the tone of the poem, the topic matter of the poem. Remember, the poem is about a warship, so pay attention to how that's reflected in the type of language that he uses, and the type of punctuation that he uses, and things like that. So let's get started. I tear her tattered ensign down. So if you don't know what an ensign is, it's basically a flag. The flag would probably be the flag of whichever side that the war was fighting on, or the country that the war was fighting on. Long has it waved on high, and many an eye has danced to see that banner in the sky. So here we have a semicolon, which is a stronger punctuation mark. So we will stop and focus on that little part there. So here it seems as if he's saying that the flag of the ship is tattered. It's old. It's kind of time to hang it up a little bit. Many people have seen this flag, have seen the ship and that banner in the sky, and known it to be a powerful ship. So let's continue on. Beneath it rung the battle shout, and burst the cannon's roar. The meteor of the ocean air shall sweep the clouds no more. So now we're getting into what is happening on the ship. You hear the sounds of the battle cry. You hear the cannons roar. You can feel the ocean air. You can see the ocean air. But all of that is coming to an end as this ship is taking its final rounds, making its goodbye. And the time has come to kind of let this ship pull into port and put it to rest.